me, man. I do what I do.
Understand something. Black folks are done being ignored. We are no longer satisfied with symbolic gestures or blanket policies that lump us in with other groups. We are demanding tangibles. Okay? We want measurable policies that address the racial wealth gap, mass incarceration, and systematic inequalities that we fought against for generations. And if those tangibles aren't delivered, we will take our votes elsewhere, or we will withhold them altogether. This is not a betrayal. This is survival. And it's a message that the Democratic Party must hear loud and clear. If you do not respect us, if you do not deliver for us, if you do not prioritize us, you will lose us. See, the 2024 election, it wasn't an anomaly. It was a warning. Somebody typed warning in the chat room. Ignore it at your own peril. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is a new era of Black America. We are no longer the silent, loyal base that props up a party while receiving nothing in return. The old playbook is dead. And it's time to rewrite a new chapter, one where our voices are heard, our priorities are respected, and our future is secure. Now, I want y'all to hear what they're talking about out there. Listen to this crying and whining.
Suffer the consequences of their actions, right? They made the choice to overstay their visas or come into our country illegally. So if they get deported, consequences. But you right-wingers shouldn't have to suffer the consequences of your votes. You don't want to.
Now, this woman right here is Joy Reid from MSNBC. She is literally telling us she's hoping that we suffer. She's hoping that America or Americans, people who voted for Donald Trump, suffer. And that includes us. That's what she's hoping. Keep listening.
Want to be around me because I voted for fascism. No fair. I'm coughing on you with COVID, but you want me to wear a mask for your safety? No fair. My body, my choice.
Listen.
Well, here's an alternative thought.
Now, I want you to keep in mind, this woman's parents she's a first-generation immigrant, okay? And I understand why a first-generation immigrant would be against Donald Trump and would have a problem with the policy, because we already know what Donald Trump said he's going to do. And this is at the heart of the question. This is at the heart of the issue. You put these other folks before us because you have a lot of these folks who are first-generation immigrants in your ear, Democrat Party, and they don't really understand where foundational Black Americans are coming from, or even the immigrants who've been in this country, these Black folks who've been in this country for a while, who may be descendants of immigrants, but they are just as much Black American in their perspective and their socialization as a typical foundational Black American. So this is bad advice. Keep listening.
Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches. Wipe your own tears. Troll amongst yourselves with Elon and leave us alone. Mm-hmm. You got your heart's desire, the president you dreamed of, and worship instead of Jesus.
See that? That's not where Black folks are from. But we are not considering Donald Trump. We don't worship him like Jesus. She's just doing too much. Somebody typed doing too much.
And this time, you didn't even have to storm the Capitol, smash the windows, or try to kill police officers or issue death threats to poll workers. See? You did it just by voting this time. Congrats. You got your way. And he even got away with breaking the law. Yay.
He only was prosecuted, Joy Reid, because Joe Biden apparently had a conspiracy of a bunch of different lawyers around the country to prosecute the man. If you're not breaking the law, people are just making up the laws as you go. But brothers and sisters had a lot to say about this. I want y'all to check out what this sister had to say. There he is.
They were never gonna tell Black Americans to go home. They were never gonna send us anywhere. I think that's what other groups fail to realize.
Yeah. So now you got a lot of immigrants out here saying, well, they're going to get y'all too. No, they're not. We from here. Okay, we from Detroit, Chicago, Mississippi, Jackson, New Orleans. We're not going nowhere. Shout out to my man, Cody Marshall, for being the third person to contribute to the Super Chat. Keep listening.
About Black Americans.
You can't scare us.
As much as the ruling class in this country upholds white supremacy, and as much as Black Americans are mistreated because of that, it was still never going to be us. They know, as well as we know, that black people in this country, black Americans.
I want you to understand something. Black people and white people in this country have a special relationship. And I'm going to go into deep detail and I'm going to explain that. We have an understanding. Somebody type understanding in the chat room. And oftentimes immigrants are not privy to that. Okay. It's a cultural understanding that foundational black Americans and white Americans. I'm going to go into great detail about that. Y'all keep this.
This is our country as much as it's theirs. And they know that. We know that and they know that. Now, with that being said,
exactly
being anti-black American is as American as it gets, right?
Yeah.
So when other groups come in and they want to assimilate, the easiest way to do that is to be anti-black American, whether they are black themselves or not. But what they don't understand, even with that being said, it was never going to be us.
It was never going to be us.
America is still America. At every level of this here system, black Americans are still American.
Yeah. Now what you see happening is a recurring theme. All these black people are telling the Democrat Party, whether or not we want to say it or not, we talk about it as the economic issues, but the reason that we voted against the Democrat Party, the reason that we stayed home was because of these immigrants. Now we will tell you it's because of the economy, but in reality it's because we saw you put these immigrants, these illegal immigrants, before you put black folks after telling us for years what you couldn't do for us. Okay, I want you to understand something. This is uncomfortable. We're going to get into it. It's going to go deep. Black folks, I'm going to expose you. I'm going to tell the whole world who you are tonight. Okay, but let's keep listening to the brothers.
Democratic leaders have already fought 10 times harder for illegal immigrants than they've ever fought for you.
That's how black people really feel. You want to know why you lost, black folks? Because of what this brother just said. Listen, you fought 10 times harder. Listen to what the brother said.
To the black Democratic supporters, your Democratic leaders have already fought 10 times harder for illegal immigrants than they've ever fought for you. Governors of multiple states are putting their citizens, their jobs, and their lives on the line to fight for illegal immigrants.
You got the governor of a mayor in Colorado saying he's willing to go to jail. He's willing to go to jail to protect illegal immigrants, not legal, illegal people, people that broke the law to come into this country. And you can't get these folks won't even change the laws to keep the cops from beating up on black folks and unaliving us in arrests and coming to visit our house. Think about that. You don't think black people saw that? You don't think black people see that? Damn. That's like you got a parent, no, better yet, that's like somebody who said, well, I can't, you got a boss. And well, yeah, we can't do that. And then the new person come in, they treating them better. A temporary person comes in. They get all the breaks they want, extra 15 minutes, 3 days off a week. And you like, damn, but I've been here all this time. I've been dedicated. You don't think we see that? We see you. Somebody type, we see you in the chat room.
And I have never seen them do that for black people.
Nope.
Joe Biden has placed a whole bunch of black people in office in the corrupt democratic system, meaning that just as usual, they have put black people on the front line.
Listen, now I talk about this all the time. You see how they put all those black prosecutors on the front line? You see how they put all those black prosecutors up to prosecute Donald Trump and his friends? Fonnie Willis, Alvin Bragg, Letitia James, promised them, yeah, go ahead and do it, girl. We support you. And then you see that? And then the first thing they do, Jack Smith, who's a white fella, as soon as Trump is elected, all steam is gone. All these federal lawsuits just disappear the next day before he's even elected. Before the election is finished count, he's filing a motion to dismiss. Shout out to my man, Red Signet. FBA ain't immigrants. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, they got you on the front lines and they sitting back, and that's what and black people notice that, but keep listening.
There's going to be a great exposing coming to the Democratic Party a great exposing that's going to shock the world over and over. And they just put a bunch of black people on the front line as the first line of defense. I hope y'all wake up to the truth.
Yeah.
Your Democratic leaders
set you up for the fall guy.
Continue to lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
They continue to use you. They continue to fight for everybody else but you.
You see a common consensus of black people around America telling you the same thing. The truth, if we hadn't had that Democrat or that influx of immigrants coming up on the southern border, I believe that Donald Trump would have lost. But that immigrant issue, because it's always going to be the economy. But this immigrant issue, you got black people. We saw black people in Chicago. Shout out to Chicago. Black people in Chicago telling us stories about how they're literally trying to replace them, and they're putting these illegal immigrants in the black community. They're opening up shelters for them. They're right next to black folks. They're shutting down parks and facilities that are normally for black children and opening up for immigrants. You did all that. Where's the money coming from? And it's not just white politicians. Brandon, what's his name? Brandon Jackson or Brandon Jordan, whoever he is, the mayor of Chicago. You got black politicians, though. You, as they say, my homeboys used to say in Dallas, you cutting for them. You sit them in. Shout out to D-Town.
DennisSpurling got the mic on fire.
Black father, I have black son.
Tune in, we be feeling inspired. From the heart, real talk ignite. Every episode brings a light. Subscribe, hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know it's family. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate. Drop some coins, enjoy the ride. Come say hi, catch the wave, don't pass by. Let the spirits always inside. In this podcast, joy takes flight. Subscribe, hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know it's fair. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate. Drop some coins.
Donation. I thought it was a class.
Hey man, I'll do what I do.
You know that.
Your ass class, don't come over here. Now what? You tall black mother. Women up inside. I don't give a fuck about